Hello, me again. It has been a very long time since I've done a video, and the main reason is because I hate editing them. It takes me like an hour to do my full face, and you have to try to condense that in a video to 10 to 15, 20 minutes. I could never get it under 30, and it would take me a whole day to do it. So for me anyway, not my favorite part. But I've been doing a little bit of freelancing and stuff, and I've had people ask me if I can give lessons. I wouldn't know how to give a lesson. Do I come to your house? Do you come to my house? Do we use my makeup? Do you use your makeup? What if you don't have any makeup? So I figured that I would try to film again, giving lessons, but this time I'm just going to break it down into pieces so that it's not a super long video. So today, first lesson, lesson number 1 is just going to be eyes, and it's going to be a really simple, easy look. I'm going to try to use as few products as possible just to not overwhelm anybody and saying like, how do I have to go out and spend all this money and get all of these things. So we're going to start with eyes, then I'm going to cut. I'm going to film my face part just as a second video. So again, so that it's all in sections, so it's not so long. So hopefully I don't have to do any editing. So we're going to see how that goes. So I have a super clean face, just got out of the shower, just washed it. So you always start off with an eye primer. And reason is you want to, for me, I have kind of pink eyes. You want to erase that color, create a sticky base for your eyeshadow to cling to, and it will help just the eyeshadow that you put on last longer as well. If you've ever noticed that you put eyeshadow on and then halfway through the day you feel like your colors are kind of just faded away and they're not as vibrant, that's probably your skin just kind of absorbs it and eats it away. So this one is a paint pot. The color is Painterly and it is from MAC. I think they're about $20 each, so they are a little bit on the pricey side. I think NYX also makes some which are a little bit less expensive, and you can find those either on their website or CVS. Our CVS has them there anyway. So you just want something. Some people also just use their concealer, which is fine. My eyelids are a little bit wrinklier, so concealer doesn't really work for me because it creases. So put that on, and I just like to use my finger so you don't get too awful much. Spread it around. The palette I'm going to use today is the Shade and Light Eye Palette by Kat Von D. It has a whole bunch of pretty much just easy to use colors. This area right here is the warm, this is more cool, and then this is more neutral. So you don't have to use just these ones together or just these ones or just these ones. It's a nice mix. Use whatever you want. A main brush that you're going to want for eyeshadow is a big fluffy one. This is, I think this is from Sigma or Morphe. It's all scratched off, but you can get them online on either of their websites. I'm going to do, let's just stick to the neutral part of the palette here. So I'm going to do the lighter color, swirl your brush in there, and very lightly just kind of swirl this all on top of the base that you just put down. This will just kind of set it and make your blending of other colors easier as you go on, because since that base is really sticky, if you go in with a dark color and you try to blend it, well, the base is sticky, which is what we want, but then it's going to be hard to blend your colors out. Sounds ridiculous, just trust me. All right, got that all over. You can use the same brush, and then I'm just going to go into the lighter of the two darker shades. And these are pretty pigmented, so you don't need a ton, and then just kind of make sure that you tap off your brush like that to get any of the extra. And then when you're looking straight ahead where your eye shadow kind of, where you go from your lid to your brow bone, that's called your crease, that's where you're going to start putting in this darker color and maybe just a little bit above. That's how you get the transition and the fade and the blend. And you'll kind of just get the feel of it. Once you practice and you start doing it, you just light dips into the palette, don't get a whole lot of color, and then just swirl it around like you're blending it in. See how there's just, I don't know if you can see, but just a little bit of color there, not a solid line of anything. That's what you want. And again, I'm going to do my best. I don't want to edit anything out, just so that you also get a feel of how long it does take. When you watch some tutorials, people are editing out a lot of the process just so that you can see the steps. But it's unrealistic, so you have no idea how long it really does take to blend out the colors. So see, this doesn't really take too long. Now I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush because I want to put color in a more concentrated area because I'm going to go with the next darker one. And problem, I have too many brushes and they're all really dirty. Well, we're just going to use this one. This is a complicated brush. It's by Zoeva. You have to order it from Germany. This is a Morphe brush. This is the Morphe B79. It's just a pointy blending brush. Let me try to get some of the red that's off of there. And then I'm going to go into the darker color, which is this one right here. Again, kind of get it in the tip, swirl it in, tap off the extra. And I'm not going to go as high as I did with that last color. And I'm just going to kind of keep it in a little bit more concentrated in the crease and in the outer edge. Again, this is just kind of a simple, easy daytime, slightly smoky, not too complicated look. You can pair this with a dark lip, you can pair it with chapstick. You could put eyeliner on, you could not put eyeliner on. It doesn't matter. But just to give you an idea of what the process is, how to choose colors, what to put together. And then for the first lesson, I'm trying to make it easy for you and for me. All right, so see how slightly smoky, nothing crazy. So now I know I said I was only going to use one palette. I pulled out two. The second one is from Wet n Wild. So you can get it in the drugstore, you can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Kmart. It's inexpensive, but it's got some really, really, really pretty colors. My absolute favorite one is this one down here. But what I'm going to use is, I think I'm going to do this, can't really even tell. It's kind of a rose gold one. And just to add a little bit of sparkle to the eyelid. So just rub your finger in there. And the inner part of the lid where we really haven't put anything is where we're just going to add a little bit of the shine. And then it'll fade into that smoky that we did. Looks like a fancy, complicated eye look. And it only took us a few minutes. And then I would like to add just a little bit more. I want to go a little bit darker in the corner. So I'm going to go back in, let's see. I think this is a trick. I always have problems getting like that outer V smokiness going because my eyes just aren't shaped a way that makes that easy. So I found this brush. This is from Morphe and it's the M150 and it's kind of like an angle. It's just a dense little guy. I have found that this is really easy just to kind of pack color where you want it. So I'm going to go in with this, not the black one, but the one next to it. It's a little bit more of a gray, but I don't want to go all the way black, but I don't want to go just light brown. And then you just kind of tap it into that outside corner just to place it where you want it. You can go back in. And now that I have that color there, I'm going to go back in with that pointy brush and just kind of blend the edges. And that gives me a little bit darker color in the corner. Makes it look all fancy and smoked out. But it's pretty easy. And then now you can, if you feel like you covered up some of that sparkle, just go back in with your finger into that color and just tap it lightly. Just kind of blend them together. There we go. So that's the eyelid look. I think that's where I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do any eyeliner. Excuse me. I'm not going to do any eyeliner because normally I don't wear winged eyeliner. At this point is where I would go and do my face, and then I'll come back and finish my eyes. So I'm going to cut, and then I'll come back. Okay, we're back. So I did the upper eyes, cut away so I could finish my face. So now we're going to finish off our eyes. So I'm basically just going to use the same colors that I did on the lid, and we're just going to go on the lower lid, lower lash line, whatever. So I know I had said that I don't like to use eyeliner. I don't necessarily use a gel or a liquid liner and do a wing and everything all of the time, but I do put things, I do usually use liners in my waterline. So I'm going to, what am I going to use? This is a Sephora Jumbo liner in purple. And the reason I go with purple is because I have green eyes, so that usually is complementary, and I don't want to go full on black, just because this is kind of an easygoing, everyday look. So don't get creeped out. This is called the tight line area, tight line it, and it helps your lashes look a little bit fuller and covers up the fleshy bits. Whoop. Now we're going to do that same thing on the lower lash line. See, light, not a lot. Now I'm going to use a flat definer brush. If I can find it, there it is. Morphe makes one, Sigma makes one. This is a Sigma one, but Morphe does as well. And go back to the same palette that we were using before, and I'm going to do the darkest brown color and wiggle that right up next to your lash line. Kind of also blending out the eyeliner we just put on. Oh, I got a piece. Got a piece. Other side. Am I in? I'm in. Try to do it with your mouth closed. Challenge. I can't do it. I can't do it. Now, I'm going to take a pencil brush, which is just a smaller blending brush. This is a rounded pencil brush. This is a pointy pencil brush. I like the rounder ones. Pointy ones, I tend to poke myself in the eye. So now I'm going to go into the lighter brown. Just a little bit, tap it off, and then we're going to blend that line out. That's it. That's all you do. I'm gonna throw some mascara on. You can put like an inner corner highlight if you want to. You know what? Yes. Let's go back to our Wet n Wild palette, and I'm gonna go with the lighter color up on top. This one I do have a really teeny pencil brush for. This is a Morphe E36. I really like this for inner corner highlights because it's so small. So rub it in there, and just the inner corner of your tear duct. Not in your tear duct, the skin right in front of that point. Don't put it in your eye, put it next to your eye. You can kind of V it around your tear duct if you want to. This doesn't really show up on camera. This isn't a really great color. Let me just give you an idea of what a really good one looks like. Let's see, this is the Makeup Geek Manny MUA palette. Can you see that better? You can also throw a little bit right here. Get out here. Yeah, nice little highlight. Oh, can you? No? Yeah? No? Alright, now we're going to do some mascara. In keeping with the drugstore, this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara. Walmart. And then hit your lowers. I really like this mascara. You can layer it and it doesn't get all like, excuse me, spidery and clumpy. There we go. Okay, so that's the finished eye look. Hopefully everybody liked it. Let me know if you have any recommendations for anything else. I think the next time that I do a makeup lesson, we're going to call it lesson number 2. This whole thing lesson is going to be lesson number 1. Easy look. We do the eyes, and then I do this face, and then I think I'm going to finish it off with just an easy light lip. So let me know what you want for makeup lesson number 2. Probably going to gradually get it a little bit more difficult and a little bit more involved, so the videos might become a little bit longer. But like I said, I hate editing, so you're probably going to get all of it. All right, thanks so much. Have a good weekend.